Okay, good morning, everyone. This is your first appearance before the Magistrate Court of Clayton County. My name is Brad Gardner, and I'm a judge in this court. I'm here to inform you of the charges that have been filed against you, to advise you of certain rights, to set bail on those offenses that I'm authorized to set bail, to schedule a preliminary hearing, and to determine whether you require the assistance of an attorney. You have the right to remain silent and say nothing. But should you give up this right, anything you say during this proceeding may be used against you. So please don't discuss the facts of your case. During this and all other proceedings, you have the following rights: to the presumption of innocence, to indictment by a grand jury for most felonies or by accusation for misdemeanors, to a speedy and public trial by jury, to see, hear, and question witnesses who are called to testify against you, to compel the attendance of witnesses to testify on your behalf, to testify on your own behalf or offer evidence in your own defense, to have an attorney represent you. If you cannot afford an attorney, one can be appointed to represent you if you qualify. Some of you will be allowed to post unrestricted bonds for your release from jail. These bonds may be posted by cash, commercial, or property. Some of you will have special conditions on your bond that prohibit you from contacting certain people or going to certain places. You will also be prohibited from contacting the victim while you are in jail. If you violate the court's order, your bond will be revoked and you can remain in jail until your trial. You could also receive additional felony charges. It is important to note that if someone is listed as a victim in your case, that person will not be allowed to post your bond. Some of you are charged with offenses for which this court is not authorized by law to set bail. In this event, a bond hearing will be scheduled before a judge of the Superior Court of Clayton County, and you will be informed of that date. If you are currently on active probation, this court is not authorized to set bond at this time. Where the bond is appropriate in your case will be reconsidered after your probation officer has had an opportunity to consider this new arrest. The purpose of a preliminary hearing is to determine whether there is sufficient evidence to support the allegations against you. The standard at this stage is very low. A judge determining whether a charge goes forward at this stage only has to determine that it is possible that the crime occurred. Everyone has the ability to waive their right to a preliminary hearing. However, you should speak to a lawyer first if you are unsure about whether it is appropriate to waive your preliminary hearing. If you post bond, your preliminary hearing is automatically waived. You will receive notice at the address you give of your next court date. Finally, I need everyone to raise your right hand for me, please. Do you swear or affirm any statements you make during this proceeding will be the truth, the whole truth, so help you God? Okay, let's begin with Mr. Carter.
Mr. Carter is in a wheelchair, so I will bring him up, Your Honor.
Okay.
He's just there. Can you hear from? He's good right there. Here's Mr. Carter, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. Carter, sir, you've been charged with one count of criminal damage to property in the second degree. This is a felony offense. The bond is going to be set at $5,000. Do you believe you can post that bond?
Yes.
There's going to be a stay away provision on the bond, a stay away from a Jacqueline Allen. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for January 12th at 8:30 in the morning, courtroom 201. That date will get waived upon your bonding out and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer, Mr. Carter?
Yes.
Are you currently working, sir?
No, I'm retired.
Okay. I'm going to find that you qualify, Mr. Carter. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me, sir?
No, sir.
Okay, you're free to go back.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Davis?
Mr. Davis, sir, you're charged with one count of criminal trespass. That's a misdemeanor. Bond is going to be set at $3,000. One count of aggravated assault, which is a felony. Bond is going to be set at $10,000. One count of cruelty to children in the third degree. That's a misdemeanor. Bond is going to be set at $5,000. One count of possession of a firearm or dangerous weapon. And bond's going to be set at $5,000, and one count of possession of a firearm or weapon during the commission of a crime. Bond is going to be set at $5,000. So you're going to have a total bond of $28,000. Do you believe you can post that bond?
Right.
There's going to be a stay away provision on this bond to stay away from a Brianna Stewart and a Wally Muhammad. Do you understand that? Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for January 12th at 8:30 in the morning, courtroom 201. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer? Are you currently working, Mr. Davis?
No.
I'm sorry, sir?
No.
Okay, I'm going to find that you qualify, Mr. Davis. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me? Okay, sir, you're free to go back. Are you Mr. Evans?
Yes, sir.
Sir, you're charged with one count of battery. Bond is going to be set at $5,000. Do you believe you can post that bond?
Yes, sir.
There's going to be a stay away provision on the bond to stay away from a Dennis Brown. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for January 11th at 8:30 in the morning, courtroom 201. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
No, sir. I have a lawyer.
Okay. Do you have any questions for me, Mr. Evans?
Sure.
Okay, sir, you're free to go back. Mr. Harris? Mr. Harris, sir, you're charged with one count of entering an automobile. Bond is going to be denied at this point. There's going to be a stay away provision on this case to stay away from a Jennifer Sutton. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for January 12th at 8:30 in the morning, courtroom 201. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer? You said no?
Yeah, I got a lawyer.
Okay. Do you have any questions for me, Mr. Harris?
No, sir.
Okay, sir, you're free to go back. Mr. Ford?
Yes.
Sir, you're charged with one count of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. Bond's going to be set at $10,000 for that offense. One count of battery, family violence. Bond is going to be set at $5,000 for that offense. And one count of cruelty to children in the third degree, which is a misdemeanor. Bond's going to be set at $3,000. So your total bond is going to be set at $18,000. Do you believe you can post that bond?
Yes, sir.
Okay. There's going to be a stay away provision on this bond to stay away from an Ashley Singleton. Do you understand that? Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for January 12th at 8:30 in the morning, courtroom 201. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer? Are you currently working, Mr. Ford? Okay, sir, I'm going to find that you qualify. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, sir, you're free to go back. I have Mr. Mason as being OTB. Are you Mr. Miller? Mr. Miller, sir, you're charged with one count of felony shoplifting. It appears as though you're on probation, so I'm not authorized to set bond at this time on this offense pursuant to Fiscal Code of Georgia 17-10-1. There's going to be a stay away provision for you to stay away from 680 Lamar Hutchinson Parkway in Riverdale, Georgia. Do you understand that? Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for January 12th at 8:30 in the morning, courtroom 201. That date will get waived if you're able to post bond between now and then. And just so you understand the statute as it relates to 1710-1, basically it says that the initial judge can't set a bond for a person that's on probation and charged with a felony offense. But the district attorney's office, they can either consent to a bond or upon hearing. And the basic reasoning behind this is so that someone can speak to your probation or parole officer and see if this is something that is going to be an issue or problem. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Please.
Are you currently working, Mr. Miller? Okay, I'm going to find that you qualify, Mr. Miller. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me, sir? Okay, you're free to go back. Mr. Price, sir, you're charged with possession of a firearm by a convicted felon. I've set a bond at $10,000. Do you believe you can post that bond? There's going to be a preliminary hearing date set for January 12th at 8:30 in the morning, courtroom 201. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer? Are you currently working, Mr. Price? I'm sorry, sir.
Retired.
Okay, I'm going to find that you qualify. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me, Mr. Price? Okay, sir, you're free to go back. Mr. Simpson. Mr. Simpson, sir, you're charged with one count of obstructing or hindering a law enforcement officer. I've set the bond at $2,000. Do you believe you can post that bond?
Yes, sir.
There's going to be a preliminary hearing date set for January 11th at 8:30 in the morning, courtroom 201. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
You said yes.
Yes, sir.
Are you currently working?
Yes, sir.
About how much do you make per hour?
I'm an independent contractor, so it's like I get paid daily.
Okay. Can you give me just like a general estimate of how much money you believe you make in a month?
Probably about 2,000 something.
Okay.
2,000.
Okay, I'm going to find that you qualify, sir. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Would I be able to do like a cash bond? Because I got money on my books.
So, the short answer to that is that my understanding is that if you're trying to go that route, that you would have to release property to another person to assist you in using those resources to bond yourself out.
Okay.
Okay. But ask questions, and with the staff there, and they will tell you their understanding of it. Okay. All right. How you doing, Deputy Requena? I'll be with you in 1 second.
Yes, sir.
Okay. You're free to go back, sir. Mr. Strain. Sir, you're in the same boat as Mr. Miller. There's an indication that you're charged with one count of theft by shoplifting as a felony. There's an indication that you're on probation or parole, so I can't set bond at this proceeding. I am going to make you aware that there's going to be a preliminary hearing date set for January 12th at 8:30 in the morning, courtroom 201. And also, I neglected to tell Mr. Miller, but there's also going to be a bond hearing date set for January 14th at 8:30 in the morning, courtroom 201. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir. Is there any way that a bond hearing could be set before that?
Well, because of the COVID times, like these are the slots that we're sending it in now. So let me ask you one question and then I can probably give you a better response. Do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
Are you currently working, Mr. Strain?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'm going to find that you qualify. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. So basically, the way the statute is set up is that if the district attorney's office chose to consent to a bond, you'll be out and you can be out, assuming that there's not a probation hold. And I think you may have warrants for your arrest out of Marietta and I think out of Douglas. So,
It's Paulding and Gov.
okay. So those are issues that are gonna make it more complex for you. But because if I gave you a $1 bond today, you would have to go to Marietta and go to Paulding.
Yeah, that's what I was just wondering, so I can get the process going.
Okay. So I've appointed a lawyer to represent you and speak to the lawyer because I don't know your personal situation and I don't know what the varying jurisdictions may feel, but just is something that sometimes can be kind of all negotiated at once. Okay. Anything else, sir?
No, sir.
Okay, you're free to go back. Mr. Thrash,
Yes,
sir, you're charged with criminal damage to property in the second degree, which is a felony. Bond is going to be set at $10,000, and you're also charged with terrorist threats or acts as a felony, and bond is going to be set at $10,000. So that's going to be a total bond of $20,000. Do you believe you can post that bond?
Yes, sir.
And I misspoke. The terrorist threat was being charged as a misdemeanor. But I'm going to keep the bond the same. There's also going to be a stay away provision on your bond to stay away from 8240 Terra Boulevard in Clayton County, Georgia. Do you understand that? Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for January 12th at 8:30 in the morning, courtroom 201. That date will get waived upon your bonding out and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
Are you currently working, Mr. Thrash?
Yes, sir.
Okay, about how much do you make per hour?
Oh, probably like $10 to $12 an hour.
Okay, I'm going to find that you qualify, sir. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me?
Yes, sir. It says $20,000 bond.
Yes, sir.
Oh, what would be the 10 or 15% of that?
$2,000.
So my parents, they would put a property bond up.
They can. They can if they want to.
All right. I just have to come to court, right?
When you say you have to come to court,
No, I'm not saying it like that. I'm sorry, I'm not meaning it like that. I mean, I know I'm coming to court, but I'm saying like after I come to court, there's not gonna be on them no more, right?
no. So, and you're using sort of loose language, so I just want to be certain. Are you saying when your case is resolved?
Yes, sir.
Okay, when your case is resolved, yes. If your parents were to put up a property, if your parents had property in Clayton County, the property would have to have at least an equity of $60,000. Sheriff's Department will place a lien on that property, and when your case is resolved, they take the lien off. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Anything else, sir?
That's it.
Okay, you're free to go back.
Okay, that's it for me for today.
Okay, thank you for your assistance. Let's switch over to the ladies' side.
Okay, thank you.
Morning, Your Honor.
Good morning, Deputy Requena. You trying to hide from me today? You can't hide from me.
It's been hectic down here, but we're here now.
I know, I understand. Just keep it moving.
Yes, sir.
Okay, let's start with Miss Duffy. Miss Duffy, ma'am, you're charged with one count of aggravated stalking. This is an offense that I cannot set bond for at this stage. So bond is going to be denied. You're going to have a preliminary hearing date set for January 12th at 8:30 in the morning. You're going to also have a bond hearing date set for January 14th at 8:30 in the morning. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes,
Are you currently working, ma'am?
yes.
About how much do you make per hour?
Like 16 an hour.
Okay, I'm going to find that you qualify. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me?
I do have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so I know we're not supposed to be asking all this right now, but when I got bonded out, I was released back to the actual apartment, and that's what I did. So I'm not understanding how I ended up with a stalking charge.
Okay, so the allegation in your case is that you were ordered to not have any contact with David Simpson directly or indirectly by mail, email, pager, telephone, or third person, home, workplace, and limited family members of any witness, including but not limited to Mr. Simpson. And it says that this was issued on November 15th of 2021. And that you made contact with Mr. Simpson via text message, and that it was observed on Mr. Simpson's cell phone. So when you say you were released back to the house, we don't release people back to anywhere. We tell them to stay away from that person. So if you went back there, that was a decision that you made.
No, the judge had even marked it on the paper when the sheriff seen it last night.
The judge marked what on the paper?
Because David did not live at my address, so they allowed me to go back to my previous address.
Okay. So this is saying that you communicated with him via text message.
Yes, and I asked the officer if he could get my phone and look at my phone. He would not. The number that showed up in David's phone was not even my number. It's like he wouldn't listen to nothing. I was trying to explain to him to contact the bonding company as well, because I didn't have my paperwork on me.
So when I read it, that was a question in my mind. But I'm not here to have a trial in your case or to determine whether you're guilty or innocent. I'm here to inform you of the charges and set court dates and provide a lawyer if that's what you so desire. If this is something where Mr. Simpson has basically, that will be a false statement, which is a felony. And I've had officers come back and get warrants for people that made false statements that had someone arrested. But this is not the time for me to make that determination.
Okay.
Okay. So do you want me to appoint, you did want me to appoint a lawyer to represent you.
Mhm.
I would encourage you, ma'am, to make sure you speak directly to the lawyer about these facts. Make sure that you have whatever evidence that you have, because there's so many ways that you can spoof a number, or there's so many ways that you can get in contact with somebody using a different phone. So that's why I'm saying I'm not passing judgment either way on that. But this is something that it's unfortunate that people end up in these circumstances, but it's you got to be careful who you spend your time around.
Is it likely that I will get a bond January the 14th?
I've had situations where a person was charged with aggravated stalking where the district attorney's office dismissed the charge the next week. So that's what I'm saying. I don't have enough information to conduct a trial in your case, but you need to speak to your lawyer about the circumstances of your case so your lawyer can assist you.
Okay.
Okay? All right, ma'am, you're free to go back. Is it Miss Masoni? Okay, ma'am, you're charged with one count of criminal trespass, damage to property. This is a misdemeanor. Bond is going to be set at $3,000. Do you believe you can post that bond?
What's 10% of that?
$300.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
There's going to be a stay away provision on the bond to not return to 879 Battle Creek Road, Jonesboro, Georgia. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for January 11th at 8:30 in the morning, courtroom 201. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes.
Are you currently working, ma'am?
Yeah. Well, no.
Okay. I'm going to find that you qualify, ma'am. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me?
Yes. So first, the group home, they have my phone. They have my social security number, my permit.
I'm
and
sorry, who has your phone?
The group home, that's the address that you.
Okay,
They have my phone, my social security number, my permit, my $250. And for my bond, my auntie said that she would help me pay the bond. So, but like she didn't know how to do that. So how can she do it?
you should have been provided, or if you ask, you can be provided with a slip that has the names and the contact numbers for the bonding companies that are authorized to write bonds here in Clayton County. As it relates to the items that you said that are still in the possession of the group home, you can make arrangements with the sheriff's department when you're going through the bonding process so that you can go back there and obtain your items with a police officer present. So there's no allegations of you just showed up and you did this or did that. Okay? Anything else, ma'am? I'm
No.
sorry, I didn't hear you.
Is it $3,000?
Yes, ma'am.
Why?
That's the bond that I set for criminal damage to property when you, as the accused, is alleged to have damaged another person's property. If it was a situation where you were told to stay away from a certain location, that also can be criminal trespass. But I'll generally set the bond at $1,000 or $1,500 for
That's what
that.
it should be, 1,000. I barely broke anything.
Ma'am, no.
Wrong with it.
Okay. Miss Poole. Ms. Poole, ma'am, you're charged with one count of interference with custody. I've set the bond at $1,500. Do you believe you can post that bond?
Yes, sir.
Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for January 11th at 8:30 in the morning, courtroom 201. That date will get waived upon your bonding out and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
Are you currently working, ma'am?
No, sir.
Okay, I'm going to find that you do qualify for the appointment of a lawyer. And I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you.
Yes, sir.
Do you have any questions of me?
No, sir.
Okay, ma'am, you're free to go back. Ms. Valentine,
Judge.
good morning, ma'am. You're charged with one count of disorderly conduct. Bond is going to be set at $1,500 for that. 1 count of battery, bond is going to be set at $5,000 for that. And 1 count of obstructing or hindering a law enforcement officer, bond's going to be set at $2,000. These are all misdemeanors. Do you believe you can post this bond of $8,500?
No,
Okay.
I'll do 7 times.
Okay, there's gonna be a stay away provision on this bond to stay away from, is it IXA, Valentine?
Yeah,
Okay,
that's sister.
right. Your preliminary hearing date is gonna be set for January 11th at 8:30 in the morning, courtroom 201. That date will get waived if you bond yourself out, and you will get a new court date in the mail. Do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
No.
I'm
No,
sorry, did you say no?
okay. No,
Okay. Do you have any questions of me?
no.
Okay, ma'am, you're free to go back.
Okay.
That's gonna be everybody, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. And would you just double check on those CAA forms when you get a chance?
I send them up to intake, but I'll double check